And to drive the conversation around technology further now, we're joined by Sam Okenye from UBA Bank. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Well, we're living in an interesting space right now where cybersecurity is a big concern across the continent. And it would be insincere of any bank to say they've not reported an incident. Perhaps let's just start by you talking us through how is the risk environment right now for banks?
Well, I must say that cybersecurity is a major issue and it's a key challenge for banks. Okay, when you look at the report presented by Serena Limited for 2017, it showed that cybersecurity did cost the Africans about $3.5 billion for 2017, and for which is when compared to the $2 billion for 2016. That goes to show that
it's a big amount.
It's a big amount, and cybersecurity is a major issue. And when it comes to cybersecurity, you also understand that the banks are the major target, because truly that's where the money lies. Okay, so the cyber criminals, they want quick reward. Mm-hmm. They want where they can hit and then get a reward. And that's why banks are also taking steps to heighten their security, because security has become so crucial when it comes to the business of banking. Mm-hmm. Okay, because you want to ensure that as much as possible, you protect the bank, protect your customers, and ensure that also you protect the reputation of the organization. Okay, so cybersecurity is a major issue. I must confess to you that much more banks need to continue to heighten their level of security, because you can't come to a point where you feel that, look, we're 100% secure. Mm-hmm. Because as you try to heighten your security, the bad guys are also up in their game. So it's a battle that banks need to truly continue to fight.
All right. Yeah. And Okenye, how prepared are the Kenyan banks, for instance? And if you could compare this with the Pan-African bank like UBA?
Okay. Well, I must say that across Africa, various banks are coming up. They're actually trying to secure their system, because, I mean, when we talk about cybersecurity, it's not just a particular region. It's a global problem. Okay, whether you're from Kenya, you're from Nigeria, you're from Ghana, any part of the world, it's a global problem. So I was just coming from a conference here in Kenya, which, of course, the discussion was around the issue of cybersecurity, how to heighten cybersecurity. We also have some bankers that attended, and also those in the government sector. That's a step in the right direction. Everyone is talking about cybersecurity. What are the steps we need to take to heighten security? Mm-hmm. That's great. Just to give you a little bit of background, UBA, for instance, made a conscious investment in heightening cybersecurity. In 2013, the bank made a huge investment in establishing what we call the Security Operations Center and Forensic Lab. I mean, the first of its kind then, a state-of-the-art in sub-Saharan Africa. Mm-hmm. Because, considering the nature of the business of UBA, we are present in 20 African countries. We're also present in New York, in London and France. Considering the size and the nature of our business and the need to ensure that our customers have the confidence that when they keep their money with us, their money is safe, and also to protect our customers, protect the reputation of the organization, and also secure the organization, we made a conscious investment. It was quite a huge investment in 2013. Mm-hmm. So that center runs 24/7. We monitor transactions across our area of jurisdiction wherever we operate. Even the branch in Kenya, the location in Kenya also, we also support them. So it's a major investment. But we keep upping the game, because you can't really come to a point where you say you've done enough.
All right.
We keep making investment year-on-year basis.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
And speaking about making investments in cybersecurity, we've seen banks are, of course, facing turbulent times across the board, bearing in mind, for instance, in Kenya, where in our earlier conversation, where we're talking about interest rates and how banks have tried to diversify their portfolios. But to come to the issue at hand right now, Kenya, is how ready are banks willing to spend in ICT systems, in prevention mechanisms, as well as trying to protect data in a day and time where we're seeing customers are out there to get convenience. Yeah. People want to do their internet banking from the comfort of their car, from their home, from their office. And it's a battle of convenience, Kenya.
You're absolutely correct. And you see that the banks today have no choice, because truly, if you're going to provide convenience for your customers, security is a foundation. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a trade-off, because you look at the issue of the product you want to roll out, digital banking products. You want to also reduce the cost of serving your customers. if you're going to reduce the cost of serving customers, then there's other part of the investment you need to make, that's security. Security is the foundation. Okay, so because at the end of the day, if banks decide to roll out digital banking products and services without making the required investment in security, they then open up the bank to a major fraud, which can result in a huge loss. So security is a lifeblood, the life wire of any banking business today, because it's part of your investment. You need to say, fine, I'm going to reduce costs in this area, cost of serving customers, but however, I still need to secure my customers, because I need to secure so that I can provide a convenience that's needed. Absolutely, security is part of the business of banking today.
All right.
Absolutely, sure.
And just your closing thoughts, Kenya. What sort of trends are we seeing when it comes to the nature of attacks that currently come along with cyber threats? Yeah. And how do we contain them?
Okay. We see that what we see today, we see the cyber attack coming in various forms. The use of malware, for instance, trying to filtrate organizations. Through, these guys are not resting, because there are tools that are also readily available. And we also see some of the cyber criminals also developing new exploits, which we call zero day, for instance. Okay, but however, to combat such, banks also need to make the right investment in being able to combat the malware threat, for instance, and zero-day attack.
All right.
Exactly. So it's an ongoing battle. It's an ongoing battle. But I must say, in spite of the investment, banks must not neglect awareness. Continuous education for their staff and for the bank customers is crucial, because when you build all the security, there is the human element. The human becomes the weak link. Where people don't have the right knowledge, the right education to remain safe, they also fall prey to fraudsters, because most of these fraudsters defraud unsuspecting bank customers through social engineering, by tricking them, and because they have low security awareness, they fall for such fraud. So you can discover that you would have succeeded in securing your bank system, but yet the human element comes to play when the bank customer is not educated enough to know that, look, this attempt is not from the bank. Right. These are all phishing attempts, for instance, or social engineering attempts from the fraudsters. They fall prey. So as banks heighten the security of the system, the issue of customer education, ongoing education and awareness is also a crucial element, because both for the bank customers and also for the internal personnel of banks. And then it's given that banks also will continue to up the strategy and being able to combat cyber threat. Yeah.
All right. Sure. Many thanks, Sam Kenya there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Demystifying for us trends, especially when it comes to cybersecurity across the continent. Talking, of course, out of the conference that is ongoing here in Nairobi. Well, that's why we want to bring it to a close here on KTN Business Today. My name is Abi Agina. Coming up next, we have our Swahili team with the Mbiu ya KTN. Thank you, sir.